Let me show you some exercises in this lesson that will help you not only to develop the three-stroke rough, but how you can use the drum set to apply. So if we just take the sort of the 1EN, 2EN, 3EN, 4EN rhythmic version of this, and just basically leading right, going around the drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, depending on how many drums you have, you could go all over the place. But I'm going to try to do a sequence maybe of these 4 drums right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right away you can see that there's a possible fill that would work great as a transition into another phrase. Now the same rhythm, accent on the last note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you don't want to get confused by hearing the accent as the downbeat note. So what I'm going to do is have you tap your foot or play the hi-hat as you do this second version. So now I'm putting the stress on the and of the beat, 1EN, which requires a outside release downstroke. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's that first method again where I'm putting stress on the first note. 3, 4. So the rhythm sounds different, but the motion, and the motion is different as well, but the rhythm of 1EN is the same. So you have a variety of ways to rephrase the same rhythm. And this is really important when you're playing your music because it gives you lots of variety for your ideas. Now you can do the same thing with your left hand, but considering that this is a sort of a right-handed drum set and I want to be leading with my right hand, it would be less practical to lead with my left hand. But nevertheless, it's a good exercise. So I'm going to do the same thing, leading with the left hand. Here's the beat, and I'm going to start with the stress on the first note of the group. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to think a little bit more about the fact that my left hand is leading, so my right hand has to get out of the way as I move around the drum set. Now, the other rhythm, which is 1EN, 2EN, 3 and 4 and. All right. Now, another rhythm that we can use is very common use of the three-stroke rough. So here's a right-hand lead with that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little more challenging getting from the floor tom back to the snare drum because I'm coming with an outside release motion and then coming over to the snare drum. So this is, you might find this a little more challenging. So the left hand has to get out of the way in order to do that. Now I'm going to accentuate the upbeat note, or the and of the beat. 1 and I will do 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. That's one variation. Or 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. You see I have variations of voicing with the same rhythm. So let me use the first version for you, which is 1. That's actually not as usable as this one. 2, 3, 4. All right, so not only do you have rhythmic variations, but you also have variations of melody, where you want to move the idea or when you want to move the idea to create the desired effect. Okay, you can do all that again with the left hand, but again, the right hand is going to be much more practical. Now let me show another way to use the three-stroke rough, which is as a sort of a transitional fill idea. So I'm going to play a straight rock beat, and then you're going to hear me apply the three-stroke rough at the end of a four-bar phrase, which marks the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So not only do I have the idea coming at a specific time in my phrase, but I also have variations in my voicing. So the same idea can take on different qualities. So it's not so much how many different ideas you play, it's how much you take one idea and explore the possibilities. All right. It's practical to lead with the right hand on those, mainly because your right hand is your downbeat notes, and you want to get back to timekeeping with the right hand ready to go. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't do a left-hand version, and the left-hand version could come at any time in the phrase. For example, you could do something like this as a sort of soloistic idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or a little bit faster. So I'm doing an alternate motion here, first leading right, right, left, left, right, and I'm deciding to accentuate the downbeat notes when I do it, which will give me the outside release motion to do that. So you can see that the tempo can greatly affect, the usage of the idea, and it can be quite useful and interesting in terms of its sound. All right, so there is the three-stroke rough, and again, when you see it in rudimental music, you will see various applications of the three-stroke rough, and it could also occur in orchestral music in a number of different ways. But just know that here at Drum Channel, we're trying to show you how these rudiments can be applied at the drum set in a useful way. Next lesson gets us into the four-stroke rough. So until then, have a good day.